everyone. We are here at today Demo Mercedes-Benz Center. I am Kanchana, representing PIM MBA batch 2019. This is Chatuni.
Diesel and Motor Engineering PLC is a pioneer engineering organization in Sri Lanka. DEMO celebrated its 80th anniversary last year. It operates mainly in 6 categories: vehicle sales, vehicle aftercare, construction machinery, marketing and distribution, construction industry and agriculture.
Today we are going to have a discussion with one of successful business leaders in Sri Lanka who has been awarded Order of Merit of the Federal Republic of Germany, who is none other than Mr. Ranjith Pandithage.
It's a great pleasure and honor to talk about our chairman and the managing director of DEMO, Mr. Ranjith Pandithage.
Is one of the most humble and human personalities I've ever met.
I have been working here for the last 10 years with DEMO.
As a leader, he is very approachable and very down to earth, considered extremely approachable by his tribe members.
And during this period, what I have seen in him is that he's easily approachable, and we know for sure when we are in trouble that we can directly approach him and we can talk to him to get assistance.
In terms of identifying the pulse of the young, although he's one of the most senior members in the companies, which makes him even more dynamic in days, and it makes him even more inspirational to all of us.
He's a strong believer in teamwork, and he wants the team to get gelled and to achieve the targets as one team. So always he calls DEMO as a tribe, and that same affection is there towards his employees as well.
To be honest, he's easily ahead of his peers in terms of being aware of what's happening around him.
One specific thing that I've noticed in him is that he's a risk taker. He loves risk. He loves to take calculated risk, and he empowers people around him to work towards a common goal.
I think this is exactly what we get from him as a leader, where his forward-thinking nature and the values governing the company sets or creates the corporate personality for the company.
That is one of the strong pillars why DEMO is here today in the corporate world.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
At the outset, to warm up our discussion, I would like to ask one interesting question from you. What is the most happiest day in your life?
That's a difficult question. What can I say? If I say the day I got married, it's one of the days. But if I say with the birth of my son, my daughter will get angry. Right? Ever getting this award is one thing. Getting through my degree in Germany is one thing. So it's a culminating of things. I would be in a difficulty to say a day.
We'll move on to our discussion, sir. People say leaders are made, not born. We believe leadership skill is not just developed once we become an employee in an organization. It's a kind of evolution from our childhood. What are your childhood influence which exalted you to become a successful leader right now?
Well, you see, I'm coming from a family with 8 children, and my father was a very successful businessman. With a humble beginning, he blossomed during the World War II. So difficult times, Sri Lanka also under a British colony. So I experienced since I was born in 1947, brought up in an atmosphere where my father showed immense capacity for, must be leadership itself, and to build up our business, Diesel and Motor Engineering Company, to a place that we all enjoy today. Now take my mother for an instance. Bringing up 8 children is also a big challenge. and today's mothers to be will be have to have one or two children, they are scratching their head. But to manage us, she had also her own way of managing affairs. So, and a good leader should know how to manage the circumstances, to believe in the atmosphere, the environment and things like that, adjust properly for that. So when you are brought up in an environment that is that cocoon itself, it's so important. I think I've got a good injection from that.
Your parents?
Yeah, parents and the parents, yeah. Yeah, well then after that I'm in debt to my school, Ananda College. You from kindergarten up to my A-levels I was at Ananda College, and different fields you were challenged to take different leaderships and stuff like that. And that whole atmosphere at the Ananda College is immensely have been beneficial for me to get that confidence. Yeah, then at the age of just 18 I go to Germany without knowing a word of German, and my father thought, okay, he can manage. So that was a huge challenge, and there I think the whole the German way of thinking, perfection, no chance for compromise, and going through the higher studies in Germany was different. And at the same time I lived in a hostel where a lot of Germans lived, very few foreigners. At that time there was very few foreigners in Germany, and there were people who did law, who did social science, who did maths, different kinds of people. You live in a hostel, and there I was courageous enough to lead the soccer side there and social services and things like that, being a foreigner. So that build up itself gives you a tremendous confidence, and I think I've been grateful to my parents for sending me to Germany, not to get the degree. The exposure you get in handling, meeting people in different spheres. And as you know that we represent top brands of Germany here, especially, and whenever my parents came or my father came for business discussions, I was exposed at a very young age to those things. And that confidence and the courage you build in, it must have helped me to be what I am today.
That means your family background, your work environment, and the knowledge what you have gained from Germany, everything supported you to become the successful leader right now.
Yeah, I think definitely. You see, in different age limit, different environments you grow up, and this gets into your blood. And more than everything is then the leadership is the guts you have, the experience you have, and I think this has helped me.
Okay, sir. So you appointed to the board in 1977, right?
Yes.
Okay, and in 1994 you became the Chief Executive Officer.
Yes.
And in 2012 you became the Chairman.
Yes.
Since then you are the still Chairman. So what were the leadership stages that you passed, and which one you think is the critical to, like for us it's hard to let go of the things we used to do when we come to another position.
You see, I was not planned to come to Sri Lanka at all. When I finished in Germany, the system is the students are absorbed by the industry. Then we had about 30 to 40% shares were held by Germans, and the German partners came and told me, you better now come to Sri Lanka, I think we need a person like you. I came in, and I was first assignment I was given was to look after our industry. We were producing radiators and stuff like that during Mrs. Bandaranaike's time. It was planned economy, imports were banned, so we had to manufacture things. So that itself was a different atmosphere altogether, and there was this, when it was at 73, then the company was about how old? about 35 years old, and it had the systems of functioning which was in a planned economy time. In the 50s there was a big boom to, especially in the automobile sector and some other projects also, and there was about 10 years of almost planned economy time, and it was total seller's market. So we were fortunate that the products that we were selling, the customers used to come and kiss our feet to buy stuff. So that was an atmosphere you grew in, and in the industries it was a matter of being more cost conscious, productivity and things like that. I was almost thrown into the pool, now you swim. But I must say the German partners also helped, and the wisdom of my father and the way he tackled it silently, he looked at my progress and things like that, and this helped me to get going. And once this cockiness that you get in when you are exposed to all this, I didn't stop there at being in charge of the production plant. Whenever the Germans came to develop our service facilities and sales facilities, or people from Siemens came and all, since I speak the language, German language, I was with them and I got to interact with them, and suddenly I find now our principals were demanding from the management of Demo, now this guy should be the general manager, this should of the group. So without anybody's knowledge, I was put in to be the general manager. So there again, you see today I'm telling that to a lot of young managers and executives also. Once you get a window of opportunity, go and break the walls. Just go and break the walls. So this cockiness or that arrogance I had, and I stretch myself. And when you do that, but you have to be very conscious that you know how to command respect. You can't demand respect. You have to command respect. People have to believe in you. And there I firmly believe is truth is the only thing that you cannot improve upon. If you are truthful, people will respect you. So suddenly they found, okay, now this guy has to join the board. So they put me to the board. And once you are in the board, you stretch yourself also, even with outside directors. You bring in quality to the whole thing. You bring different ideas to it. So they had no other option to make me the CEO. So that's how step by step you go up.
Behind of every successful person, there are some people who help or inspire such a person to become a successful leader. When it's come to your life, who has shaped your life to become a leader?
Well, I just can't forget my parents. My mother has her own way of giving us, imparting her way of, there he inculcated us to respect the environment, respect people, the social aspects of it and things like that. Father was a great influence when you look up to him, the way he managed our foreign suppliers, the way he managed the politicians, they managed the government sector, plus the culture that he built, the respect he commanded from people. So then you go to Germany. In Germany I must say my father's partner, Mr. F.K. Heller, was like my godfather, and he was one of the most successful businessmen in this part of the world. He had this company, Heller and Company, before the World War II, where my father and them worked. When the World War II started, he being a German, he was taken as a prisoner, and that's how the company was closed. My father and them started Eastland Motors. Then when the World War II was finished, he was sent to Asia by German business circles to develop business. He came here and to Pakistan and started a company called Sharnavas, went to India and started a company called Protos, for the forerunner for most of the German business, came here to see his ex-young employees have started a company like Disland Motors. So he built up, and that influence, even from our young age, whenever he came, and when I went back to Germany, he monitored me. Like, you know, in Germany, normally Europeans, even the parents won't care what the children do. But this guy knew the Asian things like that. Perhaps my father must have sent him letters and asked, how is my son? So right throughout he monitored. So when I finished he was like my godfather. Then I was, for 1 year, I was sent around our principals like Mercedes, Siemens and all this. And I have to always account for my expenses. It was looked after by him. And it was given a budget. If I exceed the budget even by 2-3 Deutschmarks, he used to scold me. I said, this rich man, I mean, for 2-3 Deutschmarks, he takes action on me. But when my younger sister got married, he was also invited. He called me and said, are you invited? I said, I'm going. He said, do you have a suit? As a student, I said, I don't have a proper suit. So he said, come and have lunch with me, and took me to a most expensive shop in Germany, in Bremen, and got me top class shoes, 2 shirts, a tie, proper shoes, and said, this is on my account for you because you have been a good boy. So, you know, that itself a learning curve for me. So he was a great businessman. I mean, he commanded respect. He could walk into any big company like Siemens, that people would respect what. And definitely, I think I must have aped him. And this radiation is still in with me. How Heller behaved and how he commanded respect, and that's what I am now trying to do in what I do.
So now BMO holds some of the world's prestigious bands. Now some of them are over 50 years. Now taking the brands to Sri Lanka and sustaining it over 50 years must have been a great challenge.
Of course it's a great challenge. You see, to getting the principles like Mercedes-Benz that Mr. Heller did it, getting it one thing, but you see most of these international principles have their way of marketing, way of doing after-sales service, customer care and all. Different principles have different things. So I think my father and our founder directors, through the German influence, they perfected it. They perfected it. They have inculcated in the Demo tribe, and which we are following now. You see, we became so famous in Sri Lanka, the people started respect. You go anywhere in Sri Lanka, to go to Vilpattu or Yala or to go to Kandy or any big city, and especially you ask the policeman if you get copped. You are from Demo, you are respected. A lot of foreigners have told, when they come to the airport and when they don't have a visa and go through a process, you say you are going to Demo, you are respected. So our founder fathers have developed that type of atmosphere here, and this has given a tremendous boost to us. You see, guaranteed today, if somebody from Germany comes and goes to the German embassy and asks, we have a product, we want to market it, what is the best address? 100% sure they will say go to Demo. And that's in other countries also. This is the mark that we have developed. And why that has been, we have sustained the quality of after-sales service and customer care. We strive here, even anybody walking in here also, we strive to give an experience that nobody else can give. Even if somebody comes and won't buy a Mercedes-Benz even, or even a spark plug on a bulb, he will go and say, my God, what experience I got. And this experience, customer care, and that experience is unique for Demo, and this has come from our founder fathers right throughout. And that's what makes the top principals want them to look after their interests here, and we sustain. And most of our marriages have been always everlasting, you know, hardly anybody has gone away. They want to be with us.
Demo first started its foreign footprint in Myanmar in 2017. At now, Demo expands its foreign operation to Maldives and Uganda as well. What kind of challenges have you faced when entering into a foreign market?
We have gained experience in different fields, in power engineering, business technologies, of course, our DNA in automobile and things like that. So we looked at ourselves inside and thought, Sri Lanka has only 22 million people. Where can you grow more in the businesses that we have established ourselves? Now we thought Myanmar is just getting out of its past problems they had, bringing in democracy and a bit of free market economy. Same thing with Uganda, we saw some opportunities. We are looking at Bangladesh. We thought now with our expertise that we have got it, we should venture into it. So that is, we have such a lot of good experience, expertise in few fields, and we want to go into those countries where there's the infrastructure and all these things are not as sophisticated like in Sri Lanka, and bring our expertise in, and we feel a big growth in there. That's why we are going.
So leaders have various styles of leadership. In your point of view, what is your style of leadership? As people say, some are task oriented, some are people oriented. Is there any style that you say that is your style of leadership?
I think I believe I'm a people's man. I want people to be around with me. I am not a person who will go and bulldoze. I would like to discuss with them, with my expertise, with my knowledge, and say, let us do something like this. So I think I encourage people to help me to do what I want to do, and let them enjoy every task I give them. They should enjoy doing it. If they do not enjoy doing it, there's no point in that.
Since we have talked about the people-oriented leadership style, let's talk about your human capital. Is there any specific reason to call your employee as a tribe?
Yes, definitely yes. Because once I wanted to do that, they all said, "Well, tribe, go through it." Silly. I said no. The tribes, very task oriented. Whatever inculcated in will be, the tribal atmosphere will be the fighters to look after your cocoon and the thing and we win. If you are a team, today you do this, win a match and forget. But tribes have a culture. So I want that demo culture, that what our parents have built up, to be to the whole group. It's difficult when you have almost 2,000 people. But I think this has paved a lot of, without using the word tribe, my father and them behaved like a tribal led and a tribe, and we just gave a name. It has been with us for a long time.
As we talk about your team or tribe, having such a diversified company, you need specialized staff to manage those different segments. How do you attract, develop, sustain your labor force within the company?
You see, we saw that very long ago, and especially the skilled, what you need. What you need, the engineers, the accountants, marketing guys is one thing. But a company like us is famous for after-sales service. You have to have skilled people. And that's why we started the German demo automobile training school with the Germans, with Mercedes-Benz. Today is, I would say, world famous. And if most of our guys who are trained here, unfortunately, they are not working for us. They are in New Zealand, Australia or Canada. But my father and them said that last time, it's a social aspect of it. There's a CSR project, give it. Same way, now we need good engineers, good accountants like you are, good marketing people. So we go to the best universities, and Demo has such a good name, a brand name, and we bring them. And we get them exposed to the best technologies, especially, technical people. They get exposed to the world. Now look at automobile. I mean, not only Gottlieb Daimler or Carl Benz invented the vehicle. Today, for most of the innovations on automobile comes from Mercedes. So our people get exposed. If you go to Siemens, medical or power engineering, all our top engineers get exposed. In one way, that's a danger also. What happens is, once they get experience and exposed to this, they migrate. So anyway, that's the problem. But skills development is that has come from our beginning of our company, and we had never been shy of developing people and spending money on special tools, etc. So because that becomes customer oriented, with that only you can give customers special experience.
That means you drive customer through your tribe.
Yeah, sure.
Demo is still 8 decades young corporate, but that road is less traveled. Your tribe members work a lot to achieve that success. Can you explain how do you persuade or empower your tribe members to align them with corporate strategy or corporate vision?
Well, look here, that is very, very important. You can have a corporate strategy, standard of leadership now we have come in with. All this can be only words if people won't believe it. So what we strive is to get our tribal member to believe in it. It will not only help the company to grow, to sustain, but also their own value will go up. And with that we create a good brand value.
So success of a leader is not only his success, it's the teamwork, right? So now, is there any disagreement between your directors when you take decisions? How did you overcome those disagreements?
You see, running a public quoted company is very, very difficult. It's very challenging. If it was private, doesn't matter. You have independent directors. You have audit committee chairman, you have sustainability chairman, you have what else you have? Related party, all these things. And they are independent, purely independent. Me being chairman, when I have a board meeting, that night I don't sleep properly. Because that's a challenging stuff. You can be the chairman, they will say, no chairman, we don't agree with you. In one way, I'm very happy, especially audit committee findings and things like that, because then I can be transparent. One day, if the shareholders, they are the owners of the company, they ask, chairman, why is this happening? I have to answer. So if you have a vibrant, strong board, that makes my staff less. Of course, yes, there are times that we disagree, then we come to consensus. Once we come to consensus and when we leave the boardroom, that is a decision. That has to maintain.
Then you come to the normal.
Yeah.
Demo is continuously recognized as a great place to work in Sri Lanka. Sometimes it is easy to win an award, but it's really hard to keep same position for a longer period. What kind of challenge you and your tribe have faced to sustain same position for a long time?
This is a very good question. You see, it can be a great place to work. When you have 2,000 odd people, like your fingers, yeah, you have in families black sheep. You see, on the run, people get disappointed. I didn't get my incentive, I didn't get my salary increase. And some are having internal problems, family problems, children problems, financial problems. When you have load of these things and come to work, it is challenging to see that am I in a great place to work. What I tell a lot of people is, make Monday your best day. Don't look till Friday. If you look at Friday, that means you have been 5 days close to your grave without achieving anything. So to make that 5 days enjoyable, make Demo your second home. If you have gaps, if you have problems, we have a vibrant HR department. I have a policy at Demos. My PA and my secretaries will only say somebody is inside the room. Anybody can move. From the gentleman who cleans the bathroom to a director. I treat everybody the same way, and they can come to my room at any time and bring in their grievances, ideas, once in a while. So that becomes an enjoyable place to work. That means you are recognized to be a tribe. Of course, there are a few, they will say, no, I'm not happy, but overall, everybody. But the overall score has been very encouraging. I'm very proud. For the last 10 years or so, we have been winning this is a great place to work.
As we all know, we live in completely volatile, uncertain, complex and ambiguous world, which we call as a VUCA world. Because technology is developing, market is expanding, new trends are coming, opportunities are creating. So, as a business leader, how do you respond to those challenges?
I always say there's a good saying, if you take a frog, put it in a frying pan in water, slowly heat up, the frog, what will he do?
Jump.
No, initially he's so happy he's in water,
Yeah.
then water gets a little bit warm, he's still happy I'm getting hot water bath. The time he's trying to jump, his legs have already got spoiled, he can't jump. The same way, if we do not adjust to the environment, the ever-changing world, the change is the biggest word in doing business. If you don't face the changes, if you don't look at the environment, you are a dead frog.
Okay. So moving to the same question, how do you empower innovation in the company? Like, without innovation, with this technology ever growing, it's very hard to sustain.
Well, that's a very good question, because you see, innovation, as I said, it comes with the changes. With innovation, you have to see opportunities and innovate things with. Every moment, if you do not innovate, you can't beat the competition. So what we do is we strive to give, especially our young managers, look here, think differently, think out of the box. That's the only way of surviving. And we encourage that, and once they achieve something like that, we really appreciate that, and there are ways of appreciating them in different ways.
So in your point of view, what is the government role over private sector organization?
I hope. This is one of the biggest challenges Sri Lanka is having, for that matter, whole the Asian countries are having. In an atmosphere where bribery and corruption is at the highest level.
Very high.
Everything happens if you know somebody in the government sector, or a minister or a secretary and things like that. And this has hampered doing business. As far as DEMO is concerned, we have never been patronizing any political party. We know most of the politicians, thank God, most of them like Mercedes-Benz vehicles. But every time when I am exposed to meet them, or when I go for seminars, when I talk, I always say, we don't want any favors. We don't want any favors. All what we need is a level playing field, and also let the goalposts be there when I wake up tomorrow morning. What happens is, because of this different government policies, taxation, this, that, duties, they change overnight, and you can't do any you can't do any corporate planning or long range planning. Your plans go for a 6. So this is what we strive to tell the politics. I hope last 2 months we have seen a big difference in that, especially level playing field and things like that. Let's hope everybody realizes. Young people like you all should strive. You all should vote for people who are ethical, who loves the country. And this the country should be loved.
Up to now, we have discussed the success stories. But in a leadership journey, every leader faced so many obstacles. I'm sure you also faced some obstacles during your leadership journey. Can you explain those obstacles that you have faced in your life, and how did you overcome those?
Yeah, as you said, there are obstacles daily, and especially what I told, in unethical way of changing the rules, getting influenced by people, and trying to, just take an instant like this cars. We pay the proper duties and things like that. There are enough grey importers have their own way of importing and challenging us all over. There are some tenders we lose because we are very ethical and things like that. So we remain, we will never change that course. Of course, those days you got unionism was very high when I joined the company, and very challenging. But today people have got matured, today to run organizations are very much easier because people know the purpose. Those days the politician influence hell of a lot, and they just got into a wave, and went on strike and did so many damages for the whole country. Demo was fortunate, we were not badly hampered, but there had been on and off, and especially because of the political blunders or political decisions sometimes they take on duties, taxation and other rules and regulations, we get hampered now. You can see in the fertilizer imports and things like that, demo fertilizer became very popular, and some political decision has given us huge challenges. Now we have to change course. This is there, we have to live in that atmosphere.
So now you being one of the great leaders in Sri Lanka,
that I don't know. I'm boss of demos.
And people who are working, like studying with us always say. So what do you think the most important characteristic of a leader? I think you already told us the answer once, but is there any more other than...
You have to be very, very ethical. Ethics are the biggest thing, and much as possible, honor your word. Even if you can't honor your word. And as I always say, that is my motto. Truth is the only thing that you can't improve upon. This has to, if you follow that, you are through.
Just one interesting question from me. If someone asked to describe you in one word, what would that be?
I think I try to be human.
Okay.
To wrap up our session, since you are a renowned business personality who has over four decades of corporate experience, what kind of message that you want to give for the future leaders?
Youngsters like us who come into the business.
If you love your country, if you love your workplace, all
Thank you very much,
Thank
sir.
you very much.
welcome, all the best.
It's an honor to be...
No, thanks to give me a chance to express myself.
Thank you, sir. It's a good investment that we made to discuss with you, and it was
And this is really benefited to 320
I hope.
in our students.
I hope so.